Look at what the hell. Look at how caved in that is. So this is kind of a second part to a clean and check that I did, you know, about a week ago. A lady asked me to come out. There was a little more behind the scenes that went on for this particular call. She told me the unit, you know, was installed early of last summer, and she told me that since it was installed, it never worked right. The unit was freezing up. It sounded like a freight train coming through the house, would wake her up in the middle of the night. So, you know, the list goes on. She had the installing contractor come out a couple times, and I seen the service tickets. I know what they did. You know, long and short is, guys, they essentially tried to mask a undersized return, and I mean way undersized, by lowering the fan speed, because they wanted to decrease the velocity coming through the vents. So they lowered the fan speed. From what I assume, they overcharged the hell out of it, to try and get that back pressure up, try and get that suction pressure up to keep it from freezing. And they also removed the TXV bulb, again, to try and keep it from freezing. They were trying to get that valve to open up as wide as possible, which, you know, result in a flooded condition. As far as the compressor goes, the compressor is going to be getting liquid back. So anyway, we went there, we sized everything up, and, you know, initially when I did this, I thought maybe it was just a kind of like a, you know, a knowledge issue. Maybe these people just didn't know. You know, however, the more I uncover, as you see, it just blatantly obvious to me that this was just a negligence job. They just didn't give a shit. So we did a complete overhaul of the return system. I didn't want to go with flex, guys, but keep in mind, this lady just dropped thousands of dollars to have her central air upgraded, and now she's got to pay me to come back and replace it all. The other thing too is I'm not a sheet metal expert, so, you know, there's always more than one way to skin a cat. I do what makes sense to me, and I try and take my time with it. So I'm sure I'll get some feedback on that. You know, other than that, guys, just going back and fixing a fly-by-night contractor. I don't even think they're licensed. I know who they are. I'm not going to name any company names because karma will inevitably take care of that. So, you know, and this isn't the normal here, guys. There's a lot of contractors out here that do amazing work, but you just gotta vet. You gotta vet your contractors. It really is. You know, the cheapest. Good work isn't cheap, and cheap work isn't good. So I think that's kind of the moral of the story here. All right, here we are, back at this furnace I had just done a clean and check on. There was a little bit more to the story, guys, that was off camera. She had explained to me that this thing was just replaced the last spring, maybe early summer of last year, and the thing has just never worked right. She's had the installing contractors out, I think, 2 or 3 times to try and remedy the situation. It was just icing up. It sounded like an absolute freight train. The list goes on. So while I was here, I did a little off-camera investigation. First thing I noticed, guys, is TXV bulb just sitting there. Straps are right here. So why is the bulb not attached? Are we trying to overcompensate? I don't know. It's only 55 degrees outside, so I'm not even going to try and determine charge right now. 60,000 BTU downflow, 80%er with a 2-ton condensing unit on the side. So we're looking, you know, roughly 800 CFM. But you're not gonna flip and believe this. 12 by 12 return air. And I took that cover off already, and it's a 12 by 12 for 2 ton or 800 CFM. That is crazy. The return duct is a 12-inch, only capable of roughly 500 CFM. So I've got to go through. I'm gonna upsize this return grill to a 1625 because I'm not gonna be able to get a 20 by 20 in that space right there. And then we're gonna upsize her return ducting to a 14-inch. All right, guys, just wanted to pop up in the attic and check my spacing between my rafters to see what kind of clearance I'm gonna have for my my new return air grill. So it's gonna get a little goofy. Holy shit, look at that. It's all collapsed up here too. Holy shit. Wow. Look at this. Gaps right in it. Oh yeah, that's tight. Whole flipping thing's collapsed in. Wow. Wow. What do you think the R value of this insulation is? Anyway, so looks like I'm gonna have to keep it because of the joist spacing. I'm gonna have to keep it at a 14. So I may have to go a 14 by 30. So we gotta start somewhere. We're just gonna work on getting the old return out of here, and then make our way down the line. And it just comes right off of there. You can see how that's all collapsed. Then the plan here is we're going to go ahead and extend these two 2x6s, and we'll go 8 inches on each end for the sake of looking aesthetic. Whatever, that was it right there. That one should be cut. There's 14 there. Up here. That should be okay. Thankfully, also, she's had some drywall work done around here, so she had a asbestos testing done on this drywall, so she was able to show me that, so I don't have to worry about asbestos being in the drywall. This house was built, I think, in 81. So by then, most of the asbestos has been phased out. Yeah, as far as drywall goes. All right, guys, gonna get the new blocking installed for the rough opening here. If I can get in there. Kind of a pain in the ass. See if I can get that started. Okay, got it all measured, made sure everything was square. The new rough opening all panned in and sealed up. Whether you use Pookie, which is the duct sealant, I just use a mastic back tape. So we got that all 100% sealed off. New opening is 14 by 30, which is going to give us about 415 square inches of return opening. So we're going to start working on getting the starting collar up there and start getting this ductwork ran. So just getting ready to get the measurements for the top plate here. So what I'm going to end up doing is running a nice bead of silicone all the way around this whole little top flange here, and then we'll cut my top plate, if you will, 31.5 by 17.5. That way it encloses the entire thing, and it's a nice airtight seal. Then we'll go ahead and put our starting collar right here, come out 90 up, and go straight that way. All right, so we're back in the attic, getting ready to put that top plate on. Apologize if I sound a bit muffled right now. Yeah, so what we're gonna do, guys, we're just gonna run a nice bead around the top plate here. That way we've got a good airtight seal. Get that nail out of there, maybe. Okay, it's going down. So hopefully I got enough silicone in this gun. We'll get her skirt down. Maybe. Get her somewhat leveled over the thing. Okay. ahead and taped everything off there. As you can see, we are 100% airtight. This is all 24 gauge metal right here, so I don't have to worry about any popping or having to cross break it. By 30 return air grill is installed. See, we just about a ½ an inch from the grill to the crown, about a ½ inch from the return from the grill to the crown. So came out nice. I like it. I'm gonna run a all right, guys, so got our takeoff here all installed, just going around finishing up insulating here. I'm just going through and tacking this down to the 2x6 here. So gonna do that. Gotta run our tape, our butyl tape around this seam, and gonna have to go ahead and finish insulating the rest of this takeoff. All right, so we got our boot all insulated now. Gonna make my way down and start supporting all of this flex duct here with duct hangers. So I'll go ahead and get that started. Guys, we can finally get the hell out of this attic. As you can see, the entire length is supported by duct straps. Down there we come to a 45 where we used a piece of round metal to make our 45 to keep the static pressure down. It just helps when making turns. So everything's nice and supported. I got some cleanup I gotta do up here. But it's all she wrote for the attic. Out to the garage to get that transition built. Unfortunately, all this has to come out. All this beautiful duct insulation. Fortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. Plus, I want to see if I'm going to have clearance here to even run 14. Insulation cut off. And in order to make it clear, they actually hit and collapse the duct in. So what was a 10-inch is now more like a 6. That's friggin' nuts. I don't understand how in the hell you could ever think that that's possibly gonna work. That's crazy. So we got our work cut out for us. That's where it goes into the attic space there. So I'm gonna tear all this out. I gotta take a look at the actual plenum box here, because I'm gonna have to make some serious modifications. I don't think I'm gonna be able to clear around that ceiling joist. So, oh, excuse me. So I'm gonna keep tearing this stuff off, man. I don't know what to say. I'm kind of a little speechless right now. Alright guys, Anyways, I just wanted to show you. Look at what the hell. Look at how caved in that is. From right here, you can see the joist was in the way. So, instead of doing the right thing, they just went ahead and beat the hell out of the duct. And there's our hole. I've got the flex duct ran up to that point, so I'm gonna start figuring out what I'm gonna do with this transition here. This can be a fun one. Alright, so here's what we are left with. As you can see, that is going to be a bitch. That joist runs right down the middle. And we are left with about 12 and a half, 13 inches of clearance. Alright, well, we're gonna have to come up with something here. It's just gonna be a huge offset, but other than cutting this joist right here, there's really nothing else I can do, so let's get some measurements. What we came up with. So that is a pretty gnarly transition due to the ceiling joist there. So we had to offset it, pretty decent offset on that. Everything's cross broken, kind of faint, but it's cross broke. Cover on there. Yeah, not too shabby. I mean, I'm sure there's guys out there that could have done that in one piece. I'm certainly not a sheet metal expert, but well, I'm happy with it. Looks good. We got our 14-inch through the wall there. Comes over, attaches to this 90, down to the top plate. I got to put another duct hanger right here to support that. Get this thing all wrapped up. Duct insulation, that is. And on the other hand too is I've got to get this heat on because this lady's going to be home in about an hour and a half, and I don't want her coming home to a freezing house. So not only that, I want to get all my shit cleaned up. So, yep,
so
there she is,
got the unit all wrapped in insulation, cleaning up my stuff. I've got the fan speed on right now, set to about 700 and 800 CFM. And I just wanted to do a quick update on airflow velocity now that we're running. So as you guys can see, with the new ductwork, the return velocity is about 350 feet per minute. And I'm waving my airflow tester around the return air grill right now. So about 350, you know, ballpark, give or take. Now on the old system, when I did this exact same test at between 700 and 800 CFM, my velocity was pushing. It was actually 1,200 feet per minute, which was just absolutely screaming. This is a huge night and day difference, and I know she's going to be thrilled. So anyway, just wanted to do a quick update with the unit running. So we are done. What a flipping job that was. Got the rest of the plenum wrapped. Got all my tools cleaned up. All the duct work ripped out of there is in the back of the van. And no issues. Customer was thrilled. You know, obviously not thrilled about having to pay twice for something that should have been done on the initial call, but you know, not a whole lot I can do about that. Static pressure and additional testings coming in springtime. It's 40 degrees out, so I'm not going to even try and mess with the air conditioning, but I know, you know, obviously I'm going to have to make adjustments to that with the TXV bolts just flapping in the wind right there. So yeah, any suggestions or things you would have done differently, leave them in the comments. I'm always open to learning new stuff. You know, other than that, guys, just you know, have a good weekend, and we made it out just in time for beer 30.